air. So
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, kind of what made me want to share is I was walking out of the local gas station. Um, we'll say last week, actually, not even last week, last weekend. After they kind of brought me down, and, took me off some of my meds and put me on a different one. Um, that I had like an epiphany of, this is what I could have been missing out on. I was walking out with my son. I got something to eat. And I remember as I walked out the door, it just kind of hit me like, thank fucking God. Um, I'm not a very spiritual person, but uh, thanks that I'm still here. So, yeah. So, anyways, um, and like I think if it hadn't been for my kids, maybe this is gonna be harder than I thought. Yeah. If it hadn't been for my kids, man, it probably wouldn't have went this way. So, oh, fuck.
um,
Yeah,
I'm glad it did go this way.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Me too.
your
Um,
dad and your kids.
yeah,
They might know it now, but
yeah.
they're
Well,
they're better now that you're here this morning
yeah, yeah,
than if you weren't.
yeah. Well, they don't even know, man. My wife kind of knows a little bit. My therapist, both of them. So I have a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because of the meds and stuff like that. And they were actually taking me off of Lexapro when things got worse, and then they're transitioning me to Respidol. So I'm not saying those meds will work for everybody or anything like that, but Respidol, I'm gonna say like 1 milligram of Respidol helped my mindset shift. So,
Was
uh,
your What was the shift from what to what?
um, well, so Monday of Monday 2 weeks ago, um, um, I'll just kind of tell kind of how it went. Monday 2 weeks ago, I got dressed, got in my car just like normal, and I'm driving to work. And here in the U.S., you can carry and conceal a firearm. Um, so, and I'm a veteran and that kind of stuff. So, I've struggled for the last 10 years with PTSD, and some suicidal, fleeting thoughts, that kind of stuff. And nothing crazy. And then, as stress got worse, because of you know businesses and um, you know fighting and the marriage and what have you. Um, all the things that make stress worse. We have 3 kids. I also suffer from Asperger's. So, if you don't know what Asperger's is, one of the superpowers I have is, when something starts going through your head, it gets stuck. And it's just over and over, and it intensifies every single one of your feelings, to where you're like, that's the only thing you want, and you have to do that thing. Otherwise, yeah, you just can't make it past. So, which is kind of where things get difficult. So, come to this Monday, 2 weeks ago, driving to work. I remember it. Kind of, I start having these thoughts, like, is this the way out? Just like pulling over and like shooting myself in the head. And the way out, just trying to, lift that weight, get all the stuff off my shoulders, and just kind of make it through the pain. I don't know. And then I remember, my kids, and just kind of keep driving. And then, like I said, my brain kind of gets stuck on it. And so it just keeps getting stuck and stuck and stuck. And so these thoughts are racing through. And I think I just keep thinking about it. It's like, sorry, man.
You don't need to apologize at all.
Like, I don't know. Like, is this gonna make things better? And like I remember thinking, like, it takes 5 pounds of pressure to pull a chair. Fuck. That happened like 3 more times in 16 minutes. That's all it took me to drive to work. And I got to work, and I text my wife, and I said, "Hey, I just don't feel right." So I just kind of dealt with it, and, look forward to see my kids, and that kind of stuff, and like the whole day, like those thoughts were there, and I knew, or I felt that I knew, that if I told anybody about it, they would think I'm fucking crazy, like, or that they would think that I'm a failure. I mean, I'm a business owner of 2 successful businesses. I spent 19 years in the military. last year I trained for the CrossFit Games and I was 30th in the world. And here I am having these fucking thoughts. Never been this, it never been that intense. Like I never had those intent, and it intensified it. Like I actually had the intentions of doing it versus, hey, these are kind of fleeting thoughts. They're kind of just running through my head. And I knew at that point that there was time to get like time to get some intensive care, even if it meant just going to the hospital and whatever. So I got in and talked to my therapist, and I talked to actually my psychiatrist first, and she was worried, like really worried. And then I talked to my psychologist. My psychologist called my wife, um, and she said we have one of three choices. We can either, seek some help out for you, and do an intensive outpatient, which is kind of what we're doing here. Just talk about what's going on every single day, and know that you do have help and that you're not a failure because you have these thoughts. It's 100% normal. And then the first meeting with her, like, knowing that my family and my friends are gonna, understand, like, hey, this happened, but like you said, we're glad you're here, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, fast forward a week after having intensive outpatient stuff, I feel better. um, like a lot better. Like it kind of makes me, want to share and like hope that people persevere on, like what I did. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know where to go, man.
Tell me, first of all, thank you for sharing, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And we are glad you're here.
thanks.
Not lip service. It's true. And I remember you telling me yesterday. I was out walking. I was like, "Well, okay."
Yeah,
I'm so glad you told me,
yeah, thanks.
because and I know how difficult it is to say, but I know how important it is, because when you do, you're
Yeah,
not carrying it alone.
yeah, yeah. I feel every time I share one with you, two with my psychologist, is like it's just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. It's just keeps getting there.
Yeah, it's bit by bit, and I know we just want to have it all fixed like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it works. It works in the stages.
right.
Tell me, what made you message your wife instead of taking the other path? What got you through it?
Um, like like I guess knowing that she actually like truly loves me and like cares, or like But the one person, she would immediately respond. And no matter what, I guess I just needed a response.
Yeah.
That's all.
It works, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we are.
Yeah. And you got to walk out yesterday with your kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to share this story, and this could be the thing that helps someone watching or
Right.
listening.
Yeah. And I hope so. I really hope so. So, I mean, yeah, like, I think you know, going down that path of, like saying, hey, like, I want to say it felt like my head was so like dark and I only had tunnel vision on one thing. And if there was one thought that I could get through, um, is picking up the phone and like texting my wife. So
Good.
yeah, because I guess it could have went the other way, and I could have sent a video text right before. But, but then they would have been stuck with that for the rest of their lives. I don't cry, man. Ever.
We all need a release, man.
Yeah.
We all need a release. If you found yourself with someone in that situation, let's say you were like able to sit in someone's conscious or sit and like in the passenger seat with someone going through thoughts, what do you think you'd say to them now?
Just pick up the phone and make a call. That's it. There's, you know, no matter what you think, and no matter how dark it gets, and how strong the intentions are to just, we'll say, end it. You know, there's always somebody willing to just listen, because um, because there's always repercussions of taking the dark path. Like, and there's other people that have to live with that guilt, and you may cause them to do the same thing. You know, and I think as a family man and a business owner, the last thing I want to do is put guilt, frustration, or even that ideation into my children's head or into my wife's head that, hey, this is okay. So, and there's always people like you or somebody like me that's willing to listen to your story. Even if I can't give somebody advice, um, I'm willing to say, hey, you know, that's not the way to go through things.
And you just have given advice.
Yeah.
That moment of vulnerability to say, hey, I need help,
Right.
infinitely better than the other option.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is final.
Yeah. 100% for everybody.
And, you acknowledge the good you do. you have a successful business, you provide employment, you provide a service for people,
Yeah.
giving life to 3 kids.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Our businesses are successful. Kids are healthy and everything. There's nothing like, nothing that would cause this. Unlike, going the opposite direction of people being, down in the dumps. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you wouldn't think it would happen to somebody that's running 3 successful businesses now, and having 3 healthy kids and a wife and a family and everything. So, yeah, but it is crazy. After talking to you, I feel better, like 100 times better, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's so hard to see that you can feel better in that moment,
Yeah.
and the good that you'll continue to do.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt.
Like the positive impact you can continue to have now,
Yeah.
even just by sharing that story
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah. Wow.
And stuff, man. I want to acknowledge like how thankful I am you made it back from the brink
Yeah. Thanks.
and the work it took.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't just a case of sending that text and suddenly everything was sunshine and roses again.
No, there was about, I want to say there was about 5 days that were very, very, very dark. Um, I've been dealing with this the thoughts for about 10 years before this year. And this is the year I finally spoke up and said something to somebody. And before that, I had fleeting thoughts once in a while, and that's not always the case, but, I, I finally spoke up and started getting help. So, yeah.
That takes
Yeah.
guts to do.
Yeah.
And like you said, business owner, father, everyone expects you to be the strong guy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But the strength is in saying, "Hey, I'm vulnerable.
Right.
I need help." And you did.
Yeah. And if I hadn't seen your story, I probably wouldn't have reached out today or the other day and be like, "Hey, I just want to tell my story."
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Cool. You want me to, let's see.